Hi, I'm Teddy Alexandro Evans, and you're watching Out at the Center.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Take your time. Let's do it. Baby. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it right. Come on, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it right. Come on, baby.
The current generation of LGBT seniors came of age amidst the profound social changes of the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. Their stories reflect queer history from the isolation of the past to the triumphs of the present day. Part 1 of this two-part series takes a look at what it was like to be gay before the Stonewall Uprising, when lesbians and gays felt enormous pressure to conform. Out at the Center sat down to hear the experiences of these individuals who are currently active with SAGE, or Services and Advocacy for GLBT Elders.
I got married when I was 17 so I can get out of the house. I was married for 4 years and realized the longer I was married, the more and more I kept falling in love with women. And so I guess my husband picked that up and we separated.
I wasn't going to get married. I wasn't interested. I didn't think I was different. I thought it was all normal and fine to have crushes.
The idea of marriage didn't occur to me because I didn't want to cook and clean for someone and be under someone else's thumb.
I was proud to be gay before it was okay to be proud to be gay. When I realized that I was gay, I said to myself, well, I have to find out where gay people hang out. At about the age of like 14, I got on the train and said, I'm going to find the gay people. And I remember walking down 8th Street, and I got to the corner of 6th Avenue and 8th Street, and I had found nirvana.
I fell in love with this woman that lived around the block, and so I got drunk to tell her that I was in love with her. She was my first. And I made love to her at the Hudson Hotel here in Manhattan. When my mother first found out, she made my sister call the cops on me. Back then, you could be arrested if you didn't have 3 feminine articles on you for impersonation. So I made my friend give me her shoes. I kicked my shoes off and trying to look as feminine as I could. Finally, the cops came. There was nothing they can do.
In those days, in the 50s, there was a rule that we had anyway, where the woman I was with said we have to go out with a guy at least once a week so nobody knows that we're a couple. It was very confusing. I went to the bars, I met people, I was with people, I had partners. They were never very long-lasting, and they were painful because I was torn between going with guys and going with women. And it was a very dark time. It was a very dark time.
Back in the 60s, you couldn't be that open.
I was constantly being harassed by the police.
I was put against the wall by cops, gun put to my head.
If you didn't get beat up by the police, you got beat up by homophobic, violent kids that roamed the neighborhood. There was really no break. We had, there was no place. No gay center, that's for sure. I did not like Stonewall. I'm not one of these people that has built Stonewall into some magnificent, wonderful place. It was the usual rotten bar.
I was living in this apartment. It was kind of a hippie commune. We were involved in everything, Vietnam demonstrations, all that. And I happened to catch the Stonewall Uprising on TV.
First night of the riot, I will never forget this. When the crowd was going nutty and screeching and screaming, I tried to get something going. I started hollering, "Let's march to City Hall, let's march to City Hall." Of course, no one even heard me. Maybe 10 or 15 people around me heard it, and they started screaming it, but it was too crazy.
It made it more freer for people who were living in the closet to be not so afraid to come out. And so That's what I think Stonewall opened up for us.
All these thousands of women, as they came out gradually, one by one, gave me permission to join them. And I had a whole contingent of women. Whereas before I was alone. I was the only one, or me and another woman were the only ones.
The riots, if it hadn't been followed by a political movement afterwards, would have just been a little bleep in history. I mean, they were important. I'm not trying to take away their importance. But if it had just been the riots and nothing happened after that, I don't think much would have changed.
And that's all for this excerpt from Out at the Centre. If you want to see the full show, check it out on our website at gaycenter.org/out. Until next time, I'm Teddy Alexandro Evans. Goodbye.